It takes. Okay, now you can go. There you go.
Okay, awesome. Well, like I said, I used to work at Victoria's Secret, and the source of power that I experienced was reward power. And I remember one time in particular where my manager, she set us all aside and she asked us, you know, if we wanted to stay for this event. And it was from 9 p.m. to 1 in the morning. And she said if we were to come and to work, then we would get paid time and a half. And so my takeaway from that was it was kind of like reward power. I mean, I did it because I got extra money. And so they really relied on a tangible asset, you know, on tangible reward. So that was, I don't know, that was my experience. And I would say maybe as a follower, since it was my manager who had you know, given us those that what's the word that I want to use? Well, anyways, yeah.
Incentive?
So sure. Yes, thank you. That's the word I was using.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's a good example or if it had to be more in depth. Okay.
No, I think that was a good example. That's kind of like what mine kind of like went off with too. I can go next to knock it out. I took a page out of Ashley's book and I wrote it down this time, got fancy. Mine was I was in charge of a 4-person team for a radio show, and it led to my job to create an environment where we all had to input on how the radio show went. At first, it was a developing process of things that we wanted to do while on the air, and as far as features and the type of music we wanted to play. Then we developed from there even more. Considering that I was the only person who had access to the station, I was the one that had the power and influence. And I'm not the type of person that likes to use that to my advantage. But now that I think about it, it definitely displays referent, legitimate, and ecological power. Legitimate power attributes included being trusted to run the station, which is like a very expensive thing to do, which had a large listener base, and nobody questioned my abilities when joining my team. They trusted that I would get the job done, and that was the goal. Referent power was developed between my team and I over time because we all had to contribute to make sure the show represented a piece of us as a unit. I definitely wanted to create that trust environment and them getting their jobs done correctly, and I hated saying that the show was simply a result of all my thoughts and ideas, when in actuality, it was the team. That was huge importance of mine. And thirdly, ecological power was really important to me, considering I wanted to make the team feel important for everything that we had done, considering our show was on Friday nights from 1 to 4 in the morning, and we did it for 3.5 years. I did have an intern, but I never wanted to make him feel that way. I wanted to make sure that he knew he was a team member, and he took his job of making coffee and cleaning music very seriously. And I can depend on him to get the job done regardless of the time or day. My DJ was always on top of new music and created a great reputation for us on the air, so much so we played certain music and artists would hear it and then call in. Overall, we had a successful show and created an impact on the city because I was socially conscious of the power I had and chose to use it in a way that benefited and also pushed forward other talents other than mine. So that was kind of like how I use mine, is power and an influence. And culturally, I guess I was always wanting to be very organized, and I think I get that from my mom because she's Mexican. I don't know. It's just my cultural aspect of it. But yeah, that's mine. So I think yours, Stephanie, was pretty good. It's kind of like along the same lines.
Both was really good.
Really good. That was amazing. I mean, that's awesome though. That you got to man a team like that.
Yeah, I just I think it just kind of like happened. So I just took it and ran with it, and it was a really good show. We had a lot of fun in Phoenix.
That's so cool. That sounds so fun.
Who wants to go next?
I could go.
Cool.
Okay.
So basically, I kind of find myself in like the business, in a business environment and the business world. I find myself falling into the leadership role. When I was in high school, my first 2 jobs were catering, and one was catering in an Italian restaurant, and another one was delivering pizzas. And eventually, I kind of just said, "Screw this!" with stuff that went wrong with my bosses and whatnot. And I decided to start my own landscaping company. And basically, this kind of taught me that I was, an entrepreneur at heart. And it kind of grew into this bigger company than I thought, and I ended up getting uniforms and things like that, and employed 6 of my friends full time. Not full time, but we would work multiple days during the week, pretty much every weekend, and hours and work all day. And so I think, and they respected me, even though they were my friends. They respected me, and Jordan, what do we do? How do we do it? Because they knew I was talking to the people whose house it was, and they kind of respected my word, and because I was paying them. So I guess I was giving them, I'm going to go with the reward power, because I was giving them an incentive to work harder, and and I would treat them good. I'd buy them lunch and things like that, and they respected. I had a woman come up to me, one of the houses. She's like, even though they're your friends, that I could tell that they respect your word and what you tell them to do. And without bossing them around, I was able to get them to do what I want to do and make sure it's a good job. So I guess by being able to give them some decent pay for high school kids, and I also was doing it for a little bit in college, I was able to practice reward power by giving them money and paying them extra if they did a good job, because a lot of the times we did get paid extra money. Also, real quick, I had to fire one of my friends, which wasn't easy for me.
No.
That practiced, I guess, coercive power. So I had to administer punishment, and I remember he was mowing a lawn or something, and he showed up really hungover and ended up throwing up on the guy's yard. And yeah, and they called me.
That is not fertilizer.
No. And so basically, I had to fire the kid, and I had to go over there and finish the yard. And he didn't work for me again. And he's still my friend.
That's rough.
Yeah.
No.
But so I guess coercive power and reward power.
Cool.
Awesome.
Trying to talk quickly so we can not go over.
Oh, no, you're good. Do you want to go, Ashley, or do you want me to go?
I'm fine. I mean, whichever. Do you want to go last?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care.
All right. So on page 136 in our textbook, power is defined as the ability to influence others, and we see that leadership is impossible without power. As a leader must be able to modify attitude and behaviors of the team. Although influence of others does not automatically qualify as leadership, this power must be used in order to facilitate the group goals to be considered leadership. An example that came to mind was when I taught English in Madrid at a language academy, where I often facilitated a sense of empowerment with my adult students and a little bit more of reward power with my younger students. I found that the adults took direction easier and felt more motivated to complete their assignments without rewards being implemented. While the younger students were still eager to learn, they would get easily distracted and were much more organized and focused when there was something they could look forward to at the end of the class. Stickers were the main reward factor, and it helped my students stay on course, maintaining a deeper interest, excitement, and focus in learning a new language. While I was living in Spain, the cultural differences deeply influenced the way I interacted with one of my private students specifically. He was the head of a major insurance company, and while I was in the role of power, being that I was teaching him English before he started work, it was important that I allowed him to take the lead in conversational discussions, as he felt more comfortable speaking about topics that were relevant to his job, cultural traditions, and aspects of some of his family life.
Cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool. You got to go to Spain. That's really cool.
I know. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. What?
Were you study abroad? Was it study abroad?
Yeah, in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, so I studied, and I had been there before in 2011. So I had this connection with this language academy because I was not there, and I just like applied, and I got this job. And next thing you know, I was like Monday through Friday, like before and after school.
That's cool.
That's legit.
Okay, so I work at ASU right now at the Tempe campus, and so I did an experience that involved my work. So I kind of wrote mine down too, and I said I've experienced a situation where I was a follower and then had to become a leader in a situation and use power in order to correct what was going on. And so I currently work as an office assistant in the community engagement programs, and that's they offer courses such as USL, which is University Service Learning, And so one day we had an internationalist student from China come in that was very confused about how to find a program to volunteer with and to fill out the form. So I asked the coordinator to assist her, and she tried to explain to her what was going on or how to fill it out on her computer, but then the student was still very confused. So I then stepped in and asked if I could show her on my computer because I could tell that she was not understanding what to do. I took the role of being a leader and gave myself power to help her because I knew the coordinator didn't have time to sit down with her and show her the step-by-step process of completing her service learning form. Taking the power in this situation was powerful because it was needed not only by the student, but the coordinator as well. I have helped many international students while working here at ASU. I can tell that there's a culture difference, with international students when the technology, understanding technology in English to their language, like specific terms that they have to like use on the computer, and like she had to download it, create it to a PDF, and so that's why she was like super confused. And so I said overall the student was able to physically see what to do as I showed her on my computer. After I showed the student, I could see all the confusion was gone and she fully understood what to do. I said sometimes taking the initiative to help someone is a great use of power, and I felt accomplished after helping the student. And then in the textbook, it talks about like powerful and powerless talk. And the coordinator, like the whole time she was talking to her, she was like, like, I don't know if I, like, she like didn't really want to sit down and help her. So that's why I stepped in, because I could tell she was like super confused. But the coordinator's like, I don't have a time to sit with you for 30 minutes to tell you how to do the step-by-step process. And so she was hesitating, wanting to help her. So that's why I stepped in and took power to like help the student understand what to do. So that's mine.
Nice.
Sweet.
We have 1 minute until the timer goes off, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Did everyone go?
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Wait, is there someone else in our group, or?
Yeah, there's a Maurice, but I haven't heard. He posted on the group discussion board that he was back on the 7th, and I replied twice, and then I added him to the Google Hangouts, but I haven't heard anything. So
I do think that he's going to be able to watch this hangout afterwards and then give his own review on it. He can still get some points from it whenever you miss them like that. So
okay, that's awesome.
Is that how that works? Oh, okay.
yeah, I like read that somewhere in the syllabus. I could be wrong, but that's what I understood. So that's what I comprehended from the whole thing.
But that's cool. Yeah, I feel like we all have like really like wide like variances of experiences with our work and stuff. So I think it was really cool to hear like everyone's perspective of how they're a leader, power, and control. So.
Sorry. Okay, so that was 13 minutes.
No, I think that was really good. That was awesome to hear everyone's story. So, and is everyone still okay meeting next
Wednesday, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
All
yes.
right. Easter.
When?
Wait, sorry, what?
No, because I forgot. It's Easter next Sunday. So
Yeah.
when are we meeting instead? On Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
That should be fine with me. If something changes, I'll just let you guys know. But that should.
So are we doing like 7:30 like Arizona time, or is that too late for a couple of you?
Yeah, that's kind of late for East Coast. So I know Jordan and
Here.
I mean, it's not a big deal.
I don't mind either.
We're only doing this. It's only 15 minutes, so.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My kids.
Yeah, if anyone wants to meet earlier, I get home at like 4, so you guys
Okay.
just let me know if you want to meet earlier. Okay, that was awesome.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Awesome.
See you guys on Wednesday. We'll figure it out.
Okay,
Sounds
sounds
good.
good.
All right. Bye,
Have a-
guys.
All right.
Bye.